What's up, horror fam?
You know what time it is.
And tonight we got Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night,
And Bordello of Blood.
oh yeah.
We're doing both of them.
Let's get into this.
Tales from the Crypt.
All right. No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, hey, here we are again. So, some of you people made some comments on our last episode, and I told you, just wait till you hear the next one.
Wait till you hear the next one.
So, we're going to talk about both of these movies. Absolutely loved Demon Night when it came out. I remember I rushed to the theater to see this film and was absolutely stoked walking out of the theater. Fucking phenomenal.
So, speaking of that, when did this come out?
I don't know. Are you going to tell us?
1995, guys.
Yeah, I was already old.
I wasn't that old.
Ryan was just a baby.
I was a wee little lad. Yeah, 1995, this one came out, and it was directed by Ernest Dickerson.
Dickerson.
Old Dickerson.
Old Dick.
Oh, shit.
Dickerson.
Yeah, this movie's so good, but we're going to get to a little bit of stuff about it, and then we'll jump into the movie itself.
Right.
So, as we said, it came out in 95. It was directed by Ernest Dickerson, and it had a pretty good cast in it, too.
Yeah, yeah. Can you say star-studded?
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Half and half.
Yeah, because you mean I'll just throw off a few.
It had the freaking Crypt Keeper in it. Come on.
Yeah,
It was star-studded.
Star-studded enough.
Yes.
But no, I mean, you have Billy Zane, William Sadler,
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith, Dick Miller,
Dick Miller. Well, Dick Miller. He's been in everything.
CCH Ponder,
Yes.
Thomas Hayden Church, and John Schnook.
Schnook.
Not like the store.
Schnook. So, for some of you that don't know, Ryan just said the name CCH Pounder. I did not remember her being in this movie until I rewatched it. She was in one of my favorite shows from years ago, and that show was The Shield.
Oh, there you go.
She was the captain.
Yep.
And she, fantastic actress.
Yeah, she's
Fantastic.
awesome. She's awesome. You know, cast-wise in this, the acting's great anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, you know, it's a, I don't even know what I consider. Would you consider this a B movie?
No.
Me either. That's the way I look at it.
You can't. With the star caliber they had in this film and the budget that they spent and the money that it made, this would not be considered a B movie. But I did find out that this was a standalone story. Like, they had never thought about this. They'd never thought about doing this.
Okay.
The person that wrote the script for it was a guy named Mark Carducci. He was responsible for the script for Pumpkinhead.
Another one of my favorite films.
Yes, absolutely. And he sat on this for a few years before he decided to do it, and he ended up giving this to director Mark Lambert,
Yeah. This.
who directed Pet Sematary.
I don't want to be buried in a bed. Sorry, guys.
So,
It's stuck in my head.
So, you know, this show or this movie was not written by the same people that did the show. But we talked about this last week. Almost every episode of the series was written by somebody different.
Yeah.
Written and directed by somebody different.
And that's what was cool about it.
And that was a great thing about that series. And to me, they really pulled off the ambiance of that series in this first film.
This you know, we're talking about it, man. This movie is so good. I don't consider it a B-rated either. I consider it an A movie. I mean, I just told JT before we started recording, I was like, this movie still fucking holds up.
Yeah.
I love it. That opening scene, the car scene.
Yeah.
Car chase.
No. The opening scene where the smoking hot blonde with the big old titties getting ready to get chopped in half by old John LaRoquette.
Yes.
That's before the movie even starts.
But
You're watching it and you're like, what the hell's this got to do with oh, I see where they went there.
yeah. But yeah, that car scene, man, at the beginning of it is
that
just
chase
so
scene.
so good. The music, the soundtrack of this is fucking great.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
But like I was talking about the acting,
Phenomenal.
the acting in this is stellar. Great acting. The way that they, like you said, brought in the atmosphere of the series
Yeah.
in this is just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it holds true to it. Dark, the way they filmed it, really dark and just gloomy, and I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
this
yeah.
film so much, man.
Very, very cool. So, we talk about this, would you consider this a B-rated movie? So the budget for this film was an estimated $13 million. The opening weekend, they made a little over $10 million. And you would think, oh my God, it's a freaking bust. Well, no, not really. Because it grossed U.S.-wide $21 million.
Yeah, a little over 20.
That's not a bad take.
Especially not
on a movie of this, I don't want to say caliber, but of this genre. I mean,
correct. Yeah.
Because you have to. I could feasibly put Tales from the Crypt in its own genre.
Yeah.
You're
talking about the
horror,
movies?
the fantasy, the series,
Okay.
the movies, they're kind of a world all their own.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what they intended,
Right.
when they came out with that series. And then when they made this movie, man, it just, I can't tell you how much I love this movie.
Yeah, yeah. And Ryan and I both watched it again this weekend. We wanted it to be fresh in our heads while we're doing this episode. And Ryan came in and he's like, dude, that movie still holds up today. And he's right. I mean, you can watch that movie today and still you don't feel like you're watching a movie from 26 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it holds up very well.
Yeah, I like I said, it really draws you in from the beginning of the movie with just the atmosphere that it's putting out there. This story I fucking love. The storyline of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it. The way they played it out is awesome. It just keeps going,
The history behind the story.
Yes, I mean,
was very cool. Very cool.
It just is great. And then, we already talked about the acting in it, and then you get into like the creatures, the demons themselves. But some of the actors in here, dude, are just they crack me up. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Thomas Hayden Church. You guys know who he is. If you don't see a picture, you're gonna instantly know who he is.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. Well, he was in that show Wings for a long time.
Yeah, he plays a guy named Roach in this, and he's just fucking just a douche.
Yeah, but he's a fucking cool douche though.
I love his truck. God, I love that truck, dude. But like I said,
Ryan
you got
wants to have sex with his truck.
I would, definitely. Of course, the good thing about the Crypt Keeper is the same thing they did with Nightmare on Elm Street. They kept the same guy doing the voice.
Yes.
And that is John Kaiser.
Yeah.
John Kaiser. So, I mean,
you couldn't have anybody else do that voice. I mean, you really couldn't. His voice is synonymous with that role.
100%. And then, like you said, you got Billy Zane, of course. And Billy Zane was really big at this time.
He really was, and it was odd for him to play this part that he played. I say that. I mean, he had played what was that other movie? The Phantom.
Yes.
Was that?
Yeah.
Ryan's right. He was very big at this time, but he played this part perfectly.
Oh God, I loved it, dude.
Perfectly.
Like
they never really give him a name in the film. They just called him the Collector.
Dude.
So let's get into some story on here.
Okay.
About what's going on. So, like Ryan said, the movie starts out with a big car chase. You've got William Sadler, who plays this guy, his name's Breaker. He is being chased by Billy Zane, who plays the Collector, and Billy Zane is in this fucking kick-ass
Trans Am, baby.
fucking Firebird.
Yeah.
And dude, he's fucking chasing him down, and it really becomes a Firebird.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate that shit every time I watch a movie.
They burnt that thing to the ground. But anyway, they end up, he's chasing him down, and you don't really know why he's chasing him. They haven't really given you any story here yet. But there's a big car accident, and Breaker ends up getting out of the car before they collide and runs off. And the cops show up at this accident site. You know, both cars are in flames. One of them's upside down. And the cops are standing there, and they're like, man, there's no way anybody survived that shit. You know, a couple of hillbilly clowns. Cops, I mean. I said clown, I meant cop.
Sorry, DA.
We're going to get kicked off.
He constantly talking shit about you, man.
So anyway, both these cars are in flames, and these cops are like, man, nobody survived this shit. And then all of a sudden, out of the smoke comes walking Billy Zane with not a scratch on him, carrying a briefcase. What's in the briefcase?
What's in the box? What's in the box? Come on. What's in the box?
So anyway, he talks to the cops for a little while, and he's like, you know, where's the other guy? He goes, that guy's very dangerous. We've got to catch him. He's a thief, and he's in your town, and we got to catch this guy. So the next scene they show you is Breaker, William Sadler, getting caught trying to break into a car by a little kid. And it was so funny. The kid's like, what are you doing to my daddy's car, mister? He said, well, I was just testing the lock. He said, looks like it works fine. He's like, no, you were trying to steal it. No, I wasn't. You know, well, then all these people come out of the motel, and he runs off.
Yeah, you know, and like before we get off of that car chase scene, man, it's just so what a great way to enter a movie, you know, with the music playing, going back and forth in between vehicles, you know, the way they shot it, this cinematography of it was great. It really drew me into the movie when I remember when I first seen this, man. I was already obsessed with, you know, Tales from the Crypt and you know, demons and monsters and all kinds of shit, and then this one here just dragged me in. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be a great film. And it didn't disappoint.
And it did not.
Did not disappoint. So Breaker, you know, winds up making his way to this boarding house, so to speak. It's not really a hotel, like it's a.
Well, he runs into old Dick Miller. Uncle Willie is what they call him. That's funny because his name's Dick.
Everybody knows who Dick Miller is.
Yeah.
If you don't, just type the name in and you go, oh, that guy. There's a lot of those actors in this. It's like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's that guy. He ends up running into Uncle Willie, and they're having a drink together out of Uncle Willie's little half-pint bottle. And he asked him, he said, hey, is there anywhere around here where I can, you know, get a room to stay the night? And he's like, oh, let me show you a place. And so they start walking, and as they're walking up to the building, Breaker's like, is this a church? And he's like, well, it used to be a church. Now it's a mission hotel. And he's like, oh, shit. All right. So at this point, Breaker happens to look at his hand. And when he looks at his hand, he's got these stars that are all like kind of jumbled in his hand, and they all kind of light up, and they move around and form a circle. And one of them lights up and stays lit. And so there's 7 stars in his hand. Now remember that, because it's going to come into play later.
And it look like tattoos.
Yeah, it's like tattooed into his palm, into the palm of his hand.
But it moves around.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's like the Illustrated Man. Shit's going to come to life and kill you. But anyway, they end up going into this hotel, and He's just looking for a place to stay. And it's so funny because the lady that runs the hotel is this lady. Her name's Irene in the movie, but it's CCH Pounder. And she's running the desk, and she's like, I ain't got no room. I don't rent rooms by just a day or two. I rent rooms long term. And all of a sudden, Breaker, he's like, oh, come on. And he pulls out this wad of $100 bills, and she's like, I think we can make an exception.
You're speaking my language. You're speaking my language. Yeah, I mean, this is where you get to meet.
Then they start introducing all the characters.
Yeah, you get introduced to all the characters and things that are in here, and you see who each person is and kind of who they are in real life, and this and that. And so we get to meet one of the main characters who's going to be the main character, by the end of it, which is, was it Jerry Lynn? Jerry Lynn, who's played by Jada Pinkett Smith.
At the time, it was just Jada Pinkett, though.
Oh, my bad.
Her and old Will hadn't gotten together yet.
And I think she fucking killed it.
Yeah, she did. She did. She did a great job in those.
A lot of the characters in this movie one of the main reasons why it holds up is they do such a great job. Mm-hmm. For what the movie is, and there's no, discredit to the movie whatsoever, because I think it's a fucking great film. But for what it is, the actors and characters in this are just, they really drive, even old Uncle Willie,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they picked actors that actually have character.
Correct.
And it really drove the story. I can't imagine this movie with somebody else.
100%.
With other people. I mean, you could argue that, this guy could do this better, or this guy. Nah, I think they picked these people for a reason.
100%. Not to, if you haven't seen this yet, I don't know what you're doing. Don't listen. Quit listening now. Go watch it and then listen to this. But, like we talked about it, Jada Pinkett Smith, she really kills her character in this, She's like this woman who's just super down on her luck. And
her character's not the only thing she kills.
Yeah. Yeah. And Billy Zane just, fucking murdered this shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His cockiness, nonchalant, fucking, but serious.
And he's very suave and,
just
yeah.
His swagger, everything, but he's serious too at times.
Mm-hmm. He's there for a purpose.
Yeah, and he fucking killed it. And then William Sadler, dude, just as Breaker, him in this. I mean, I guess we should go ahead and tell who they are and what they're doing, because they're the main ones. You
do it.
Billy Zane as the collector. He is. He collects things for certain. Kind of like the collector in like in the Marvel universe or whatever. Is it Marvel or is it? Yeah, it's Marvel.
Yeah.
He collects these things, and in this instance, he's trying to collect a key.
Okay, so if we're going to tell this story, let's go all out and tell it here.
No, he's going all out, folks.
So here's the gist of the story. Billy Zane is, like Ryan said, they call him the collector. He is actually one of the hierarchy demons. And what has happened is during the creation, when God created the earth, it was basically just a dark void. Well, what happened in this dark void is all these demons started popping up. Well, these demons had 7 keys, and these keys were scattered all over the universe. Well, the demons have gotten hold of 6 of the keys. The 7th key ended up on Earth. And just so you guys, if you haven't figured it out, it's in Breaker's pocket.
Yeah.
So what has happened with these keys is they have like a chamber on them that holds blood. And the very first blood that ever went into this key was the blood of Jesus Christ when he was being crucified on the cross. So after that, whoever has possession of this key, which we find out a little bit more about the keys in the next movie, but anyway, who has possession of this key is the one that is going to have to protect it. So whenever they like die or pass on, and they're not going to die from natural causes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Whenever they die, they have to. Their blood has to go into the key.
They're chosen.
They're chosen, yeah.
They're the chosen ones, basically. Kind of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So
She's chosen.
7 keys, 7 stars on Breaker's hand, and there's 4 people inside the hotel.
Yep.
And then Billy Zane and the cops show up. Now there's 7 people inside the hotel.
See, and
7's wild, people.
And not only that, but these people are chosen,
Yeah.
and so like when we talked about earlier about his hand and the tattoo moving around,
Yeah.
it's kind of like what would you say, a compass or
Yeah,
or a GPS beacon or something, telling you. Well, I think it's pretty clear that Breaker knows that his time's coming, and it's coming for him to pass the torch, so to speak. Perfect timing, as JT lights his cigar, passing the torch on. So he kind of knows what the deal is. So he's looking this. He knows someone in this place is basically who he's going to be looking for. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not only is he dealing with fucking the collector coming after him, but now he's having to. He's already has a very important job. Now his job's getting even more important because his time is coming, and he has to find the new, whatever you want to call it, protector.
Yeah.
I guess you would say,
Yeah.
of the key. I really love the aspect of the tattoos and the way they did that.
I actually thought about that.
Getting those
That would be a cool fucking
shit, yeah.
cool thing to have.
Because this movie is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
It is a really cool movie.
A lot of movies people talk about are great and this and that. I really think this movie for me is an amazing movie. I love it.
This movie has got so much going for it. It's got the fantasy aspect. It's got the religious background. It's got the comedy aspect, and then it's got horror by spades. I mean,
100%.
It hits all the marks. It truly does. So as we're meeting these people in this hotel, we start meeting, like the goofy guy, Wally. He's kind of a nerd and kind of quiet and whatever. And then you've got Cordelia, who is like the slut, kind of.
Woman of the night.
Well, it's funny because Cordelia is with Roach most of the time. Roach has not showed up at this point. He's on his way, though. Yeah. But one of my favorite frickin' lines of the whole movie, Cordelia climbs up on the table because Breaker's sitting there eating. They had made him some food. And Cordelia climbs up on the table and is laying across the table, like being all sexy and shit. And Irene, which was CCH founder, she walks by and says, "Get that pussy off the table." And so she jumps up real quick, and she's like, "Well, I was talking about the cat, but..." It was just classic. I just love that line.
It's classic Tales from the Crypt. I mean, it's just...
Get that pussy off the table. Just hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah, and this movie is full of shit like that.
It's full of shit, all right.
No, it's a great film. But, so yeah, you're meeting all these people. Everyone's getting introduced. And like I said, at the same time, Breaker's kind of trying to figure out who's who. And he knows he needs to figure it out soon, And then the cops and the collector show up. I don't know if there's not really much I want to talk about in between there.
Right. Well, there's not much goes on. You're just kind of meeting the characters and getting to know them a little bit,
So they show up, and then this is where it kind of gets to the situation where the
situation. That's a good way to put it.
it gets to the situation. Well, I'm talking about where in the description of the movie.
Yeah.
The keywords.
The keywords.
The first keyword when you look this up is loud sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, keywords for this film: loud sex, bus, gore, demon, church.
That's the first flag.
Yeah, okay.
So they show up, and why am I drawing a blank now? The collector is he says he's a. Did he tell him he's a bounty hunter, or he a?
No, he's an antiquities dealer.
That's right.
He buys and sells antiquities, and he tells the cops that Breaker has stolen a piece from him.
Right, and he has a suitcase, and what's inside this suitcase is a perfect little spot for
the key.
for the key to be. So
the cops, they approach Breaker about the key, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a key. What are you talking about? What's it look like? And so they pick him up and they search him, and he's like, I guarantee you it's in that little bag right there on his hip. And they get in the bag and there's nothing in there. And so lo and behold, old Uncle Willie is like, wait a minute, I bet I know where he put that key. And they go and they search the place and they can't find it. And that's when they find Cordelia and Roach having sex in the upper room. That's where the loud sex came from. And it was so funny because she had the electrodes hooked up
battery
to his nipples.
cable.
And the cop comes walking down with the fucking electrodes in his hand.
and he's all, the cop's all mad because he likes her.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. But anyway, Uncle Willie knows that the key is taped to the bottom of the table where Breaker's sitting, so he pulls it out and ends up handing it to the cop.
I think so.
Yeah, he hands it to the cop, and the cop's like, is this what you're looking for? And he's like, yeah, that's it. And he opens the case, and that's when you see the mold of the key in the case. So the cop just lays the key in the case. Now, that's not really how that would happen, but that's the way they were going to do it. So anyway, the cop lays the key in this box, and they're going to take Breaker to jail. They're going to arrest him and until they get to the bottom of this. And as they're getting ready to walk out, they said, well, you're going to, they look at Billy Zane and they're like, well, you're going to have to come downtown with us too, because there's a little aspect of the car accident you're going to have to explain. So somebody's got to clean that mess up. And he's like, oh, but, I had nothing to do with any of that, or blah, blah, blah. And anyway, he ends up punching the cop in the face. Okay, he ends up punching the cop through the face and the back of his head.
And this is where the party starts.
Yeah, and this is where it gets good. So he ends up ripping the cop's head off and then starts punching people with it. He's still got this cop's head stuck on his fist, and he's punching people with it. It's fucking hilarious. Typical Tales from the Crypt style there.
Yeah, it's. We could talk about this. We could talk about this movie the whole time.
Yeah, we don't want to go blow for blow, but there's like some scenes that you just have to know about.
Yeah, because we know we're going to be talking about the other one too, so we want to make sure we have time for that and whatnot. But
got all damn night.
I don't have enough alcohol yet. I need some.
I got some in the house. Right?
But no, so I don't want to talk about blow for blow for this, but as you tell already, all this stuff's going. This is where the shit starts to hit the fan or whatever. They end up getting the key back, and he's figuring out what's going on, and just the rest of the movie is fucking. The whole movie's great anyway.
Yeah. Well, and shortly after he gets the key back, they end up pushing the collector outside.
Yeah.
And once he's outside, we find out that the blood from the key, if you pour a little bit on a doorway, it creates a barrier that these demons can't get through. So once Billy Zane's out there, he ends up cutting his hand, and his blood is yellow, and he starts splashing it around on the ground. Well, as he's splashing it, it starts foaming, and then all of a sudden these demons start forming out of the ground.
Awesome demons, too.
Yeah, and whoever did the makeup for this, I was trying to find that, did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, the demons in this look really fucking
Yeah.
crazy. I remember when I was younger, watching this and thinking about the demons scared the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Yeah, who did the? Does it even say? It doesn't even say, huh?
Yeah, it'll say somewhere here.
Costume design, makeup. There's makeup department and all that.
Yeah, the makeup was done by a company called the Todd Masters Company. Mark Bowley, Wes Kafer, Lauren Cavanaugh, and Scott Coulter, along with numerous others.
They should say.
Nobody
Yeah.
big that I see, but they should be because
Demon Effects co-designer
they did a
Scott Patton.
friggin' phenomenal job on this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Prosthetic makeup supervisor.
Scott Wheeler.
Dude.
Yeah, great job. Kudos, guys.
Yeah, because you guys killed it
Kudos.
in this one, man. I mean, that's one thing I remember when I was younger, man, is that those fucking demons scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
For sure.
But you guys have got to check this out.
Yeah, definitely. We're not going to go all the way through the end of the movie because we want to leave a surprise at the end. But that is where you see the bus. From the
Keywords.
From the keywords. But yeah, just an all-around killer movie. This movie runs 92 minutes. You can find this just about anywhere. I actually picked up a copy on DVD years ago. It was in a bargain bin, I think, at Walmart. It had Demon Knight on it, and the next movie we're going to talk about, which is
Bordello of Blood.
You're damn right it is.
So yeah, I mean, that movie, guys, the first one, Demon Knight, highly suggest it. It, like you said, lasts 92 minutes. It could have lasted another couple hours for me. Excellent movie. You guys will not be disappointed if you watch that on a whim or on a night where you're like, man, I need something I can watch. Check it out. Promise you'll love it. And then
when when they're all huddled up on the frickin' balcony inside the hotel, and Breaker says, well, at least we all survived and we're in one piece. Sorry, Irene.
Yeah. You guys will get it when you watch it. But yeah, the next one we're going to talk about has to do with this movie. And it is Bordello of Blood, which came out in 96. So the year after this.
Yes, sir.
Which is awesome. Now, this one had a different director. And it was directed by Gilbert Adler. Which you can tell the director was different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This movie, especially when you do like what I did today, I watched these movies kind of back to back. I mean, I took a couple hour break in between them. But when you watch Bordello of Blood versus Demon Knight, you can tell the production is a lot sharper, it's cleaner looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Which I'm
not knocking Demon Knight at all.
I prefer Demon Knight.
Yeah, me
over,
too. Me too.
To be honest with you,
But Bordello of Blood is a very good movie.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna get into it. You know, again, like I said, this came out a year after Demon Knight. Another pretty good cast. There's a lot of people in this movie that aren't really well-known actors, but the main actors, Dennis Miller. I mean,
everybody should know who Dennis Miller is. Even though, I was talking to my wife about that. I haven't heard anything from Dennis Miller in a while.
In a very long time.
My wife's like, well, fuck, he's probably in his 60s. He probably retired.
And then,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
You got Erica Alanak, and at this time, she was doing movies quite often.
Yeah.
You know who she is. If you look her up, you'll see her face, like, oh, it's her. Of course.
And then the ever so lovely Angie Everhart. If you don't know who Angie Everhart is, I am sorry. She is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, look her up.
Yeah. And then you've got classics like Corey Feldman's in this.
The man, Corey Feldman.
Chris Sarandon. It's kind of funny because he's on the list, and I got to bring him up. William Sadler is in this movie. He was Breaker in Demon Knight. He is in this movie, but he's not in the movie. He is
in the beginning.
In the beginning of the movie, and then at the end, he is the mummy that is playing a game with the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a very cool scene because as soon as you see this mummy and you hear him talk, you're like, oh my God, that's William Sadler.
Yep. And then also you have Phil Fonderico.
Yeah.
Who you guys? He's a how are we gonna say this? A little person.
Yeah.
And he's been in a lot of things.
A ton of stuff.
A lot
Return
of
of the Jedi,
Willow. I mean, the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes,
Holy shit!
He's been in a ton of shit.
So yeah, I mean, the gist of these actors and characters are well known. Why? Why you gotta do that?
So yeah, I mean, I had to pull up Angie Everhart, and we were just talking about this movie.
Yes.
The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. She was in Take Me Home Tonight. Just a whole slew of
TV shows
and different things.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I mean, she was fairly active.
Yeah.
At this time,
I'd like to be active with her. Oh shit! Did I just say that out loud? Sorry.
Well, at least you're not doing anything else.
At least I'm just saying it.
Keep it to yourself.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Another 9.5 weeks. Yeah.
The Mummies. Oh, look, Bordello of Blood.
Oh, I didn't know she was on that.
Which we're talking about. And so in Bordello of Blood, she plays Lilith.
And so I hadn't watched this in a long time.
Go ahead.
So whenever I heard that name, my wife was sitting in the room with me while I was watching it. She did not watch Demon Knight with me because she was still in bed. I got up at the crack of dawn to watch Demon Knight. And when they said her name, what was the first thing I thought of? Lilith from the Bible, that was the head of the witches, and she would like steal men's seeds. And, yeah, and I was like, oh wait, what the hell?
But no, and
how did
this
she get that name?
She is the mother of vampires, the original vampire woman.
I'd call her mommy. Even when she was in the coffin and all grotesque looking, I thought, man, I bet she's going to be hot.
A little bit of LIFO here, a little bit of this, a little. Yeah. No, so in the beginning of this, you got Phil, who plays Vincent Prather. Prather. He is like a collector of his own. He is going to find this tomb basically that's hidden, and he brings along some people with him who he promises, we're going to find all this gold and all this stuff, you know, and promises them all this great things. They get there, they start to dig, they find this tomb or whatever. They open it up, and lo and behold, there's a corpse in there.
Yeah, a very, very rotted corpse.
Yes.
And some big-ass spiders. I almost turned it off. I don't like spiders.
He don't do spiders.
I don't. Not at all.
So, why don't we talk about the link between these two movies?
One of the first things he does, so this Vincent Prather, he is there for a purpose. He is going to try and resurrect Lilith. So he has a box, and in this box, he has, when he opens it, he's like, oh, I've got her heart in this box, and all I've got to do is put her heart back into her body to resurrect her. So he slides the lid of the box open, and you can see the box is in 4 quadrants, and there's a chunk of a heart in each quadrant. So he slowly slides these quadrants out, and the heart like grows back together. And so he takes this heart and he shoves it inside the corpse, like up through a rib cage, and leaves it in there. Well, as soon as he does that, you'll like all this like veins and stuff start growing out of the heart and moving around, and it starts pumping. And he's watching it, and all these people are standing around like, what the fuck is going on here? What are you doing? And all of a sudden, the heart stops beating.
Yep.
And he's like, no, this isn't supposed to happen. So he starts beating on her chest. Now, as old as this corpse was, the first time he hit it, it'd have shattered that thing.
Well,
but,
maybe not.
Maybe not.
He's a small guy.
Oh, God, we're going to hell.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of a sudden, the heart starts beating again, and flesh starts growing on this body, and she sits up and immediately plunges her fist through one of the guys' chest and rips his heart out and takes a big old bite out of it. Now this is a corpse, and she takes a big old bite out of it. And as she takes a bite out of it, you see more flesh grow and her face starting to form back up and blah, blah, blah. And she turns around and looks at Vincent Prather like she's going to kill him. And what does Vincent Prather do? He pulls out the key and shows it to her. The same key from Demon Knight.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so...
How the fuck did you get that key?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on here?
'Cause I'm going to tell you right now, Jada Pinkett Smith had that key.
Yeah. So he shows her the key, whatever, and then she's like... At this time, the guy's trying to climb out. The last guy's trying to climb out of there through the thing, and he's like, "What if I give you one more? Will you, blah blah?" She's like, "Anything for you." What did she call him, Daddy, or something like that?
Something like that.
Anything for you, Daddy, or something like that. And then,
and the guy is like,
"What the fuck are you talking about?" So, boom, Lilith is back, and now it's time for them to take care of business, so to speak. And then this is where it comes to the newer time, and you get to meet Corey Feldman, who his character is Caleb, and his sister, Catherine, which is played by Erica Eleniak. And she's like this super, super churchy fucking... good girl. I mean, and he's the exact opposite.
Right.
Right. She's in here like on her treadmill or bike listening.
Yeah, she's like on a stationary
bike, and she's listening to
I don't know who the hell she's trying to get away from, but she's not going anywhere.
And she's listening to this gospel dude all preaching and stuff, and all of a sudden she hears her brother's music upstairs fucking blaring. Yeah. And
and it was fucking metal, and it was glorious.
I've learned over my time of watching movies, horror movies and stuff, I had to pay attention to the background. I'm trying to remember now. He had a poster on the wall, and I can't remember what the hell the poster was. And now it's pissing me off. I remembered it when I was watching. I'm like, I got to try to remember that poster.
Yeah.
And now I can't. But now I try to catch that in movies. Like some movies pay a lot of homage to a lot of other movies through posters or T-shirts or things like that people are wearing. So,
yeah.
What are you laughing about?
No, I'm just thinking about a scene later on in the movie that we'll get to.
Well, let's get there already, damn it.
So now, Lilith is back. We've now met Corey Feldman and his sister. They get in a little spat at the house because he's wanting to go out, and he's like, it's really funny. Corey Feldman in this movie looked like I did when I was a teenager,
I mean, that's probably it.
Black leather biker jacket, fucking.
To be honest,
I had really long hair though back then.
That image really wasn't different than who he was.
In real
life,
Yeah.
He wasn't
But when I saw him though, I did have to giggle because I thought about him dancing around when he was doing that Angel song or something on somebody's TV show.
That was him and his
band.
What is it? God dang it! Now you got me. Corey's Angels or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that because I don't want to throw up. Anyway, he goes out to a bar and meets up with some buddies of his, and that scene where they're throwing darts at the dude, and he's like, one of his other buddies, he's like, "Hey man, I'll give you $5 if you hit him in the nuts with that," you know.
He's like, "Fuck that."
He's like, $5, huh? All right, whatever. And he's like, "How about 6?" And he's like, "Oh, 6. Okay." Well, then the other buddy on the other side of him's like, "I'll give you 10." He's like, $16 to hit him in the nuts with a dart.
He's like, "I'll give you, I'll give you 10 not to hit me in the nuts."
Yeah. And then then his buddy, like his best friend, "I'll give you 10 to not hit me in the nuts."
He's like, "All right."
And he's like, "All right." Well, guess what? He hits him in the nuts with the dart.
And it shows him pull it out. He's like, "Dink." Yeah, that was great.
Oh, it was fucking classic. But anyway, it was really cool, that scene, and I'm gonna start throwing some weird shit like this out there because it really fucking hit me kind of weird watching this movie.
Okay.
So when they turn around, like, okay, so the crazy guy at the bar comes up to him and is talking to him about, because their plan is they want to get laid. And he's like, yeah.
You guys want some?
You guys want to get
pussy?
Yeah. And when they all turn around to look at him, I don't know why, dude. It just popped into my head. The Lost Boys. They looked. I don't know. It's like they were trying to do something.
Pay homage in it.
Pay homage to the way Kiefer and the boys looked in their vampire pack, although the other guys weren't really dressed like Corey was.
It was just
just whenever you see that and the four of them together, that was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, oh my God, it's like the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, well, Corey Feldman was in that. I said, yes, honey, I know that.
She'd be like, really? What
he wasn't.
What did he play?
Was Corey Haim.
Was he like a back actor or something? What was going on there?
Well, and then it was kind of funny because my wife brought this up too, because when we finally meet Dennis Miller in this, which he plays a private investigator named Raph Gutman. Whenever we finally meet him in this movie, she's like, my wife's like, he does kind of resemble Jason Patrick from Lost Boys. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because he did. He kind of did. The same hair and everything. You know? But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, like I said, a lot of people pay homage to that. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't put that past Corey Feldman.
To do something.
Yeah, because he's really big into that,
Yeah.
Which, Corey Feldman was huge in my childhood. One of my favorite child actors as I was growing up. Everyone has their own personal problems and demons and things they're dealing with and all kinds of other things. But, he is responsible partly for a big part of my childhood and my love for horror movies and stuff like that, So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
No matter what.
For sure. No matter how goofy he is, he was a big part of our childhood growing up.
Yeah. So.
But then there were other things like using Chris Sarandon as the evangelist. Well, everybody who knows Chris Sarandon played Jerry Dandridge in Fright Fest Fright Night. I'm sorry, Fright Night.
Yeah.
There's just so many different things that, even Chris Sarandon, some of the stuff he was doing, it was like, it reminded me like when he was standing up on that stage and he was all like, oh,
can you dig it?
Yeah, doing his evangelical, however you would say that, thing. It reminded me of him standing on the top of the staircase in Fright Night. When they break into the house and he's standing up there, Yeah. This. Anyway, so many different things in this movie.
This movie has a ton of nudity. So
a ton.
unlike Demon Knight.
Oh, Demon Knight had the one scene with Dick Miller when he walks into that room. And
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Unlike Demon Knight, you could get past that one little scene and you'll be fine. With this one,
there's no getting past it.
Yeah, there's a lot of nudity.
It's everywhere. Well, and the gist of the story is these guys are going to go to a brothel.
It's like a party. It's like a invite-only party type thing.
And it's really weird because it's in a funeral home.
Yeah, the part, and how you get to the freaking, how do you get to where the women are, you ask yourself?
Yeah.
Well, you got to climb into a casket that then gets put into a incinerator, but it goes
like a crematorium.
Yeah, but then it goes straight through it and then down, and it opens up and there's just boobies all over the place.
It spits you out onto the floor, and then the girls open the coffin, and there's tits galore.
It's a great film.
Yeah, it is. It's a great movie.
It's a fun. This one. There's not much else to talk about this one. You guys can get into it yourselves and watch it. I feel.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But I will tell you, it's a fun movie for adults to watch if you're into horror and you're into the Tales from the Crypt.
And the whole, we're telling you about this brothel and everything, this Bordello of Blood. I mean, that's really not the whole thing to the movie.
Yeah. There's a
basically
twist to it.
It's Lilith is the head mistress of this place, and she's there basically to feed, and then she's also trying to make money by taking all their shit.
Yeah.
After she kills them, which you find out that all the girls in the bordello are vampires.
What's that remind you of? Taking people's shit.
That was the other thing. That was the other movie. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, they were taking all the trucker stuff and doing all this stuff.
What did Cheech say? We got pussy lickers, pussy fuckers, pussy.
No, he's like, we got horse pussy, cat pussy, dog pussy. Hey, pussy, pussy. If you could find better pussy anywhere else, fuck it.
Yeah. Which is another great movie we need to do sometime.
Oh, 100% we will. And I will be quoting that again.
Yes. But there was a funny part in here. So so basically, Catherine, Corey Feldman's sister, he has disappeared because he's went to this place and didn't make it out. And she didn't know where he was at, so she went to the police to try and see if they would help her. Well, they wouldn't help her because he hadn't been missing very long. And just so happens that Dennis Miller's sitting in there, and he, walks up to her and he says, hey, I'm a private investigator, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. She's trying to get away from him, and he keeps hounding her. But eventually he talks her into, hey, let me try and help you find your brother, for a cost. You're going to have to pay me, but... So anyway, that's how he gets involved in this. So he goes searching for her brother. Well, at one point, after he's figured out everything that's going on, he goes to her, tells her what's going on. She doesn't believe him, and blah, blah, blah. Well, they end up going on the hunt for her brother, and they're walking through. I remember it was classic. They're walking through like a boiler room area, and it's a long hallway, and they're walking through, and he's like, man, I don't know, this is fucking weird. I feel like it's some fucking weird Tales from the Crypt episode or some shit. And then all of a sudden a steam pipe goes off, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I had Mexican.
Yeah,
so many gags like that.
This is a fun one. I will tell you, I definitely prefer Demon Knight over this.
Yeah,
Demon Knight,
sure. They're
to
both
me,
good movies.
They're both good, great. Demon Knight's a great film in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's an A movie. This one, I think, could be considered a B movie for me. However,
the production was pretty high on this. You couldn't call it a B.
Yeah, I guess the production level was an A.
It was an A film. It's kind of funny. They spent the same amount of money on this as they did Demon Knight.
Yeah.
They spent $13 million. This movie, however, bombed. It only made $5 million.
Wow. Yeah, see, I'm just telling you guys, Demon Knight is such a great fucking film.
Yeah,
now,
it really is.
For horror lovers like us, and for people who love Tales from the Crypt, this is a great film as well.
Yeah, Bordello of Blood is a fun movie to watch.
Fun film.
You definitely don't want to watch it with your younger children,
100%.
you know.
So I got a question for you. And this is for both of them. Okay. Would you like to see either of these remade?
No, I don't think you need to. I think that Demon Knight is still such a good film, and it was so well made that there's no reason to remake this movie.
I don't think there would be a reason to. However, I love Demon Knight. I think it's great if it doesn't. I don't know. For me, maybe they can remake it. I don't know.
I tell you what I would like.
Bordello of Blood, I could see being remade.
I tell you what I would like.
What's that?
I would like to see a sequel to Demon Knight.
Fuck yes.
I think that would be awesome.
100% with
You know, to
on
find
that.
out who has the key.
That is a great idea.
You know,
That is a great
who's
idea.
got the key and where are they at?
I'm 100% with you on that. That would be sweet. I would love to see a. Maybe that's why I love Demon Knight so much.
Yeah.
That it deserves a fucking sequel.
Well, it does, but it deserves a good one. There are so many times where sequels are just they'll ruin.
May I suggest Demon Knight 2, James Wan. His darkness that he films things.
He does, but I don't know that he'd be the right choice for that.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
No, and hear me out. Think about his films like The Conjuring and how, you know, Demon Knight is like...
It tells a story.
It does tell a story, but it's not in the vein of creepiness. Does that make sense? I mean, James
yeah.
Wan is a very creepy... He'll creep you out without even showing you shit.
Who would you like to see?
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. James Wan could make this movie, but I don't think that he would be the best choice for that.
I love the way he films. You know what?
Let Zack Snyder make it.
There you go. There you go. I can go with that.
Yeah.
I could go with that.
I think
I could go with that.
he could. I think he could do it justice.
He's got a great film
Me.
coming out soon. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait, dude. Army of the Dead looks so
Yes,
good,
it does.
dude.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
I just worry with Army of the Dead have they showed us everything in the preview because they've showed us.
Oh, I don't
so
know,
much.
dude. I don't know,
So
man.
much.
That's how I don't know, man. It looks great.
Oh,
But anyways,
it does. Believe me, I can't wait to see it. I just worry that fuck if they you know because so many movies do that. They'll show you all the good shit in the previews.
yeah, but
You know,
usually
like the last Insidious movie, The Last Key. Mm-hmm. All the fucking fantastic aspects of that movie they showed us on the preview.
yeah.
The rest of the movie was just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because you had already shown us all that shit. There was no surprise or anything, you know.
I think with this one's just gonna be full of badass just slaughter
Yeah.
and shit.
And I really like Dave Bautista too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think.
He's a good actor. But anyways, guys.
I want to bring up something else.
Oh shit! Hold on a minute.
Totally off the cuff here.
Okay, never mind, guys.
So, you all know if you've listened to our show, you know I'm a big fucking gamer. I'm big into video games. I'm not the best gamer in the world, but I love to play them. I'm pretty excited. We all know that by the time this comes out, it'll be about a week and a half before Village Resident Evil 8 drops. It comes out May 7th. Capcom, who has done all the Resident Evil series up to this point, they have slowly been releasing little demos for this game and really building the hype for it. The first one was called Maiden, and it came out a few months ago. And it was very cool. There wasn't a lot of action in it or whatever. Let me tell you, yesterday they dropped the gameplay demo. And so I signed up for it. and I played through it last night. The way they did these demos, it was only active for 6 hours. It started at 6 p.m. and went till midnight, depending on where you live. What sucked about it is they only give you a half an hour to play the game.
What?
So they give you a half an hour. It's a demo. I get it. They give you a half an hour. And then once you're done with your half an hour, you're done. You can't go back and replay it. You're just done. Okay? But that half hour was fucking amazing. I don't know who did the sound production for this game, but dude, it pushed my surround sound to the fucking limit.
Fuck
I was
yeah.
so fucking creeped out playing this fucking demo, dude, because you can hear everything.
Fuck yeah.
You can hear fucking shit creeping up behind you and fucking, I mean, everything. At one point, they put you in a fucking cornfield, and you've got something coming at you, but you can't quite figure it out until it gets to you. It's fucking werewolves. Dude, this new game is going to be off the fucking chain.
Damn.
This new game has got everything in it. It's fucking, the main character is this woman named Madame Dimitrescu. She's like the head vampire. And then in the village itself, they've got all these fucking werewolves running around trying to kill your ass. Dude, it was this fucking demo was so fucking good. I was just like, I was pissed that I couldn't go back and play it again. So today, I went and pre-ordered the game because I got to make sure I get it when it comes out. So what they're doing is next Saturday, they're doing another demo that's a half hour. That will be on the 24th, and it is called The Castle. So I would assume they're going to put you into the castle. And then they're releasing a third demo gameplay, or actually a fourth demo, but it's a third gameplay demo on May 1st, and it's an hour long.
Oh, hell yeah.
Demo. So, dude, I am so stoked for this game. I cannot fucking wait.
Fucking right, guys. That's
Cannot
awesome,
wait.
dude. We'll have to do a episode on it.
Oh,
the actual
definitely.
game when it comes out,
Definitely.
and we'll do like
Once I get that in my hands, I'll get you over and we'll fucking check it out
shit.
together.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy is that comes out on the 7th. The 8th, I'm going to St. Louis because our buddy Tanner and I are going to Transworld
Yeah.
for the Halloween attraction show.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So,
Right on, man. A lot of good shit, guys. A lot
Got
of
some
good
cool shit
shit,
going on
man.
this year.
Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Like I said, Demon Knight, Bordello of Blood, both great films. You will not be disappointed with Demon Knight. If you want to choose a film to watch, that's definitely one. But yeah, guys, we love you. Thanks for your support. And more importantly, as always, until next time, keep it creepy.